more. Rick Jordan joins us this morning. He's the CEO of ReachOut Technology. Rick, really looking forward to our chat because, we have this video from outside the home. This has been so consequential in this case. Some rather clear images of the suspect at the front door. There's also, though, video from other areas of the home where sensors on cameras went off. But because there was no subscription on the cameras, we don't have an image to connect it with. So how long might it take for investigators to sift through all of that data, bring us any additional details that could help investigators or add to this timeline?
Yeah, we'll have to see at this point. Thanks again for having me on. This is an interesting case because you're looking at the camera by the door, which is a doorbell cam by Nest, right, which is a Google company. All the other cameras in the house were similar. Those, as you mentioned, don't have a subscription, so Google only retains those for the user to see for about 3 hours. That's it. You go on the app on your phone, and that's all you can see is about 3 hours. However, what we've learned here, which was very revealing to Google's privacy policy, they maintain these recordings for a period of time. Unknown how long that is. That's one of the things that really came to light here. I don't know if the FBI will get access to the other recordings, but that's up to Google to try to sift through that data that now we know they actually kind of keep on back-end servers. Interesting development, too, because we always thought that when you hit delete, it's gone. Not so in this case.
Right. And people in this area, we reported on this earlier as well, being asked to hand over any surveillance footage they may have dating back to January 1. This is obviously well before the crime took place. What are some critical patterns, behaviors they may be working to identify in that time frame?
Yeah, depending on how many people respond to this is going to be very difficult to sift through because we're talking about 40 days really here about evidence right now. If so many people, I mean, look at this. The FBI has had, what, 13,000 tips so far? Not all video, of course, but if so many of these camera users actually submit their doorbell cams or any other security camera footage, it's difficult to sort through that in such a short period of time for that much data. Because you're talking the FBI will look for vehicles that are driving by multiple times. They'll try to look for people that look very similar, whether it's same clothing or different clothing. There's a lot of things to analyze here. And at this point, unfortunately, it's been, what, 2 weeks since the alleged abduction? That's a long period of time to pass without proof of life. So we're really down to the wire.
Right. And, when you look at this terrain, and we're flashing some images of it here, there are a number of obstructions to consider as well. You've got dense brush, designated dark hours for stargazers, etc. What are the challenges this all poses for investigators? And where also might some of the most valuable images come from as a result?
Yeah, if there's any outdoor cameras, for sure. And when I say outdoor, I'm not really talking about home doorbell cameras. I'm talking if there's any traffic light cameras. I've seen nothing so far that they've started sorting through that kind of footage because the traffic light sensors, they have license plate detection. So if there's any red light cameras in the area nearby, that's what I'd like to see them start to look through before even the cameras. I mean, Ring at the Super Bowl, right, started putting out how they can analyze pets and find lost pets. A lot of America got kind of freaked out about that, but it just shows the power of some of these doorbell cameras. However, you have to opt into that. I would love to see news come out that they're actually starting to sort through if there's any traffic cameras or red light cameras in the area.
Right. And then you have these ransom notes coming in or other demands for Bitcoin. So I'm curious, from the technology side, how is this investigation unfolding behind the scenes? Do you believe any of these demands have real ties to this case? And how are crews working to determine or verify any potential connections there?
Yeah, this is intriguing because, I mean, there's been reports of around the ransom deadline of a $6 million transaction in Bitcoin. I just want to set the record straight on that because that's not an abnormal transaction. When Bitcoin is kind of floating out there, Bitcoin has, trillions in a market cap, lost a little bit over the last month or so. However, what is strange is the amount of time that was given to provide this in a ransom if the family was going to pay. Because if you're not actively out there trading Bitcoin, it's very difficult from, we'll say, February 1st, so I think it was the 9th was the second deadline, so 8 days, to actually take $6 million in regular cash or fiat cash, as it's called, and convert that over to Bitcoin without raising a lot of flags with institutional banks.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.